Hello, and welcome back to Violet Memoir. We just had a fun day of class. We're back at our apartment. I guess we're unpacking. Guess we're having unpacking adventures. I don't know. Do you ever unpack, guys? I typically just leave things lying around. I just have boxes with stuff. I pull things out when I want it. Back at the apartment, I'm surprisingly silent. Oh, it's surprisingly silent, almost eerie. I'm not sure if it's because people are out partying, out studying for the new classes, or just resting up after the first day. As I unlock my room, it opens up into the cold darkness. Having no roommate is great for privacy, but it's a little lonely having no one else to come home to. I try to ignore the yearning for home and flick on the lights. It's not too cold yet, the autumn weather only giving the room a cool wisp that makes my fur tingle. I place my laptop bag on the desk and I look around at the sparse furniture located across the room. The bedside table can barely be called drawers. I'm not sure how they expect us to fit all of our clothes in a single one. I'd be able to fit a couple shirts and pants along with my underwear at best. Maybe they thought we'd split the closet between the two of us, but even with that, we wouldn't have much space. I probably open my luggage and get to work putting away what I can, hanging up the few formal clothes I have in the closet and shoving the rest into the two nightstands. After putting away my shirt into the top drawer of my would-be roommate's nightstand, I try to do the same with my pants, but the bottom drawer won't come out. For a second, I wonder if it's locked before realizing that's stupid because why would only one nightstand have a lock? After a few more gentle pushes, I begin to lose my patience and pull all my weight into dislodging the drawer. For God's sake, just come out! I'm moments away from giving up when I feel it start to budge, but before I can celebrate, I'm being flung away onto my back. A loud crashing sound thunders throughout the room as a surge of pain runs on my leg. Groaning, I sit up and assess the damage, checking out my leg for any injuries to match the spiking ache running up my shin. But there doesn't look to be any real damage. Instead, the entire drawer dislodged, and then from the nightstand to me. It must have smacked my leg on the way out. Ignoring the dull pain, I pick up the drawer and slide it back into the nightstand, but I stop when I notice a glimpse of purple. Leaning closer, I can see a thin book hidden below the bottom drawer. Someone must have really wanted to hide whatever this is. I remove the book from its hiding place. The word diary is the first thing that catches my eyes. A small twinge of curiosity rises within me, but I push it down. I don't want to invade someone's privacy, but what should I do? Should I put it back? Well, that's a bit pointless. Whoever lived here probably forgot about it. It wouldn't be here otherwise. Toss it away? But they might have accidentally left it behind and want it back. The best case scenario would be returning it to them, but where would I even start? I don't even know who this belongs to, let alone how old this book is. With a deep sigh, I fall back onto my bed. I need some leads to go on. Running my fingers along the edges of the book, I notice something strange about its condition. Other than a small bit of wear near the spine, there's very little markings on or damage on the book at all. This book was either barely used, pretty new, or well taken care of. Turning the book over yields even more answers. In the bottom right, underneath the barcode, is the manufacturing date, January 2019. That's earlier last year. That means this probably belonged to at least to the last resident. They might still have them on file. Springing up from my lying down position, I head out the door with a excited bounce in my step. I walk over to the elevator on the ground floor for the feeling of my early vigor dissipating. The light clacking of my claws against the floor makes me nervous, the echo reminding me of how empty the lobby is after dark. I slowly shuffle my way closer to the front desk, catching sight of the receptionist. She's a different one from when I checked in this morning. She's tall and thin, but her features are hard to make out. I think she's a sheep of some kind. Then when I get closer though, I can see she's actually a poodle. Her fur is puffing out and meticulously groomed to the point it looks like wool. She's packing up for the day, but my mouth dries as I check the time on my phone. It's 6 p.m. That's 5 minutes after the reception is supposed to have closed. A sickly feeling wells in my stomach. That's nearly enough to deter me away. But I didn't just come here to back out before even starting. Something tells me if I don't do this now, I'll never do it. Taking a moment to calm down, I force myself to walk up to the counter. The canine doesn't notice me at first, or if she does, she's choosing to ignore me. Tapping my claw nervously on the desk, I feel extremely unwanted. The disdain she's exuding is suffocating. I think I'm getting a headache. Eventually, she turns to me with a sigh so filled with annoyance that I want to run back to my room and pretend I never found this book. I guess the answer to I guess that answers my question about if she'd been ignoring me or not. You know, the front desk isn't open after 6, right? Now that I see her face more clearly, she's wearing a tired expression. The bags under her eyes make me feel even more guilty. Yeah, I just need you to check something for me real fast. I promise it won't take too long. At least I hope it doesn't take very long. After a few seconds of contemplation, she finally sits back in front of the computer. Fine. Do this again, though. Some of us don't do this again, though. Some of us just want to go home. After some key taps and clicking around with her mouse, she looks back at me. So, what is it? Realizing I've just been standing there like an idiot, I quickly put the diary on the desk. Someone left something in my room. I was hoping I could get their name so I can give it back to them. I'm in room 603 on side A. I think the person was on side B. It was in the nightstand on that side. The only response she gives me is a non-committal huff as she returns to typing. After about 20 seconds, her eyes widen slightly, quickly before going back to normal. It happened so fast, I'm not sure it actually happened. I'm tempted to lean over to see what's on the computer screen, but I exercise a bit of restraint. She's no longer tapping on the keyboard nor looking at the screen. She seems to be contemplating something. A few seconds of silence fly by before she turns to me with an unsure look on her face. Sorry, but we're not really allowed to disclose the information of previous residents. I hope you understand. The only immediate response I give is a slow nod. While this makes sense, I can't help but feel like I'm being lied to. After all, why would she go through the effort of looking for the information if she was just going to deny me at the end? Well, could you send this to them? It's theirs and they might want it back. I slide the book across the desk to the poodle, but she instantly pushes it back towards me. Sorry, we don't keep records of their future addresses. Maybe you can keep it. She must have realized how silly that sounds because she dismisses that with a wave of her hand. Her demeanor is more nervous than annoyed now. Just what did she see? Or just throw it away. It's an old diary after all. She's probably has a new one. She? Once again, I feel like I'm being stonewalled in a bizarre way. Stonewalled? Huh. I don't think I've heard that phrasing before. What she's saying makes sense, and it's probably true, but she's saying it in a way where I feel like she's there hiding something from me. It's actually very eerie. I suddenly feel very uncomfortable, like I'm being watched through the security camera. Sorry to bother you then. Thank you for your help. My mutter is barely audible as I hurry to grab the journal and rush to the elevator. Have a good night, sir. I don't look back. Okay. An itching sensation runs up my back as I push my way into the room. A heavy, uncomfortable feeling crawls up my neck, causing the fur to stand on end. I chuck the diary onto the desk and haphazardly onto my bed. It's best to just ignore it for now. The only problem is underneath me is a pile of pants, the uncomfortable lump pressing into my stomach. After I found the diary, I completely forgot to put them away. And turning my head to the right, I can see the dislodged drawer leaning against the far nightstand. I'll deal with that later too. Right now, I just need a few moments to mellow out. Just a moment. Just one moment, and we'll forget about the whole thing, you know. I constantly forget things in the middle of me doing them. It's really fun, actually. It keeps things exciting. I'm standing on the beach. The water looks black under the night sky. The waves crushing in front of me as I sit on the rocky ledge. I can feel my eyes burn as if I had stared into the sun for hours. The only companion with me on the desert beach is the sound of the thunderous roaring in front of me. There's a part of me that wants to join in its uproar. It just screams so loud the heavens will quiver. I don't think you can do that, Wallace. I've seen your portrait. But I can't bring myself to do anything. All I can do is stare down at my phone in my hand, watching my reflection on the empty screen, as if waiting for something. But I can't remember what I'm waiting for. It feels like I've been sitting here for hours. Suddenly, my phone lights up and I can see a little message pop up. As the alert chimes from my phone, I feel myself lurching upward. Oh, okay. Okay. The the relatively quiet alert echoes loudly, ripping away the peaceful silence as I'm jolted awake. My eyes burn as I try to figure out what's going on. Between my head pounding and bile in my throat, it takes me nearly a minute to compose myself. A loud groan croaks from my throat as I fumble about, trying to locate my phone. What time is it? My voice sounds hoarse, like I hadn't drank anything in years. It's like my entire mouth is filled with cotton. Locating my phone, it shows I've only been asleep for an hour and a half. No wonder I'm feeling awful. Naps always make me feel like trash. The only notification I've gotten are 2 emails. The first is just the promised contact information of the rest of my media group, while the other is from a name I barely recognize. Sender, Lily Rose. Okay, meetup. I consider just going back to sleep and reading it later, but the silhouette of the drawer on the other bed reminds me I have... Oh, sorry. I consider just going back to sleep and reading it later, but the silhouette of the drawer on the other side of the bed reminds me I have to put my pants away. As sitting up, I hear little clicks as I stretch my back. My bad sleeping posture makes this a common occurrence, but the sound never fails to make my skin crawl. Blinking away the last of the sleep from my eyes, I open the email. The brightness makes reading it with my blurry eyes difficult. Lily. Okay. Hey, my name is Lily. I'm in the same media class as you guys. I just wanted to let you guys know that I want to do a little get-together tomorrow, so we can do some introductions and maybe get started on our project a bit. Wouldn't that be pretty cool? I was thinking we could meet up at the school library near Edmund Hall around lunch. We could hang then, maybe. We can hang then, maybe. Okay, get some food, you know. I'm sending this all to you, so if it conflicts with any of your schedules, let me know, and I'll change the time. And tell me tonight. We don't want to do it on such short notice. Love, Lily. It takes me a moment to remember the name. Right, Lily Rose. She's in my group. Meeting her and the others is probably a good idea. I know where Edmund Hall is. Thankfully, I have my biology class there. Quickly checking my schedule on my phone, I only have 1 class on Tuesday. It's my second biology class of the week in Edmund Hall at 10 a.m. It'll be a tight fit, but the lecture finishes at 11:45, so I should be fine. With that out of the way, the only thing left to deal with is putting the rest of my luggage away. Hoisting myself off the bed, I get to work organizing my pants and the rest of my bag, which only has toiletries remaining. I've never been particular to clean. Wait, what? I've never been particular to cleaning, but reorganizing my room has always been a good way for me to calm down. I see. I understand the sentence. Now that everything's done, I realize how empty this room is. I'm used to not having many friends, but without my parents in the house as well, it feels like it's missing something. Just grab a body pillow and put it in the next bed over. Come on. Big brain. It's small, but a twinge of sadness starts to flow through me. My phone startles me out of my melancholy. I'm expecting it to be Lily again, telling me someone couldn't make it, and I see a text message from someone else instead. It's from Oscar. Hey, just saw the email. Guess we'll be meeting up a bit earlier than expected. Looks like you'll... Yes, okay. You'll be making more friends in no time. Looks like his enthusiasm never ends, and from the way it's making me smile, it's working on me. I still don't think it's going to be as much of a bonding experience as you think it will be. That's a lot of big words for a meet and eat. A meet and eat. Still can't wait to catch you there. Before I can even respond, he sends another message. Gonna pass out. Catch you later, little man. Catch you tomorrow. Why did you type it that way? Does that actually save on tomorrow? It's okay. Okay. I try to sound a bit more casual, but I think I just came off as awkward. I'm not much for texting. I was more tempted to bring up the comment on my height, but he does tower over me. Thinking about just how large Oscar is has my mind spinning in many different ways. I better distract myself, and fast. More importantly, his mention of a meet and eat has my stomach considering its options. The Chinese place down the road should still be open. I'll get something from there tonight. I don't have any groceries to cook anything in my shared kitchen anyway. When I return, takeout is in hand. My eyes immediately fall onto the diary. It's still exactly where I left it, tossed haphazardly onto the desk at the end of the bed. I can't exactly return it, so I guess it couldn't hurt to read it. Plus, I might be able to figure out who the diary belongs to. I take a seat on the barely cushioned chair, trying to ignore the guilt in my chest. At least they have a gap in the bed for tails. Excuse me. Making sure the diary isn't in splash range, I eat some of my sweet and sour chicken. I'd be horrified if I returned a diary covered in food stains. Satisfied, I open up the diary and find a frustrating surprise. On the inside cover, on the inside of the cover, written in large font, property of Helena Lawson. Please call 202-555-0106 to return. I feel like I'm staring at it for an eternity before it finally registers. Seriously? Embarrassment and a little angry rise in my chest as I feel extremely stupid for trying to pry information out of the receptionist instead of just checking inside the diary. It's only 8:21 p.m. Surely they wouldn't be asleep yet. Trying to ignore the apprehensive feeling whispering in my ear, I dial the number. Do I just tell her I was snooping through her diary? I mean, if it's in the inside cover, you really weren't snooping. You just opened it to check if, there was a name. That's reasonable. You know? I think that's reasonable. I don't think that would be snooping. Maybe that's just me. Surely she'll understand if it's to return it. Right? But instead of any of the options I'm expecting, a second surprise awaits me. Sorry, but the phone you've called is no longer active. If this is your number, please call I cut the pre-recorded message off before releasing a large sigh, though it might as well have been a groan. I toss my phone onto my bed, close the book, and decide to deal with it tomorrow. Quickly grabbing my laptop, I start a movie and grab my food, ready to settle in for the night. Yeah, okay. Rushing out of Edmond Hall, I rushed through the busy crowds of students leaving their classes. Biology took a little longer to finish than expected. It's only been 5 minutes past our meetup time, but it leaves a bad impression if I'm late to the first meeting, then you just say that your class was running a little bit late. They'll understand. Surely. College and all that. Even with running the rest of the way, it takes a couple of minutes to reach the library and I'm covered in sweat. I don't even want to know what I smell like. Curse my mustelid heritage! God, I'm out of shape. Maybe I should have gone with Oscar last night. The library is a lot bigger than I expected. It has 3 stories and students are flowing constantly in and out of the building. It takes me a while to realize that the study area is on the next floor. Really, this is the second floor. Interesting. Okay. Upon reaching the second floor, I'm overwhelmed just by how many students are there. They've got to be at least 20 tables, and almost all of them are occupied. I'm worried I might not be able to find my group in this crowded place, in this crowd, but thankfully I can see my otter waving irreverently. It would be embarrassing if he didn't pull off confidence so well. I'm lucky I'm already acquainted with Oscar. Having to find a group of people I don't know would be harder. When walking closer to the table, I'm surprised by the number of people I recognize. Cool. That's a good look. That's a good look. Tank top life. I'll end the part here. That's what we're doing. I'll see you around, everyone.